once we could, had a life, felt so good, once had trust. I knew my friends, thought good guys, when in the end times have changed, hate divides behind the mask, maggot flies, great pretender, stole the throne, hungry now for blood and bone, tranquility will never find. Got this bloody axe to grind through creeping darkness. Shadows grow, our worst fears. Now we know. And bring us up to date a little bit. What's been going on?
Yeah, thanks, Patrick. I appreciate it. Hey, Louisville, aloha to you, to everybody there. Yeah, life has been good this year. It's been a year of positivity for the Hawaii Cannabis Ministry and the cause of liberating cannabis for all its many blessings and its many good uses for food, clothing, shelter, medicine, fuel, sacrament, fun, and so much more. Included that marijuana eradication program on the Big Island caused the conditions for poverty and hard drug abuse in the state. And I know that to be true, but here was a federal study that was a landmark of its kind. And it proved the point. And then interestingly enough, after the study came out to prove the point that the government was causing the methamphetamine epidemic, the National Institute on Drug Abuse erased the study from their website. Logic, it's not a reason, it's a prejudice, and it's deep-seated. And here's another glaring example.
This is the very latest issue. Louisville Magazine says that the Reverend Louis Coleman, pastor, First Congregational Methodist Church, and director of the Justice Resource Center, that Coleman is a man who is equally hated, loved, feared, and admired. Actually, the quote is, a man who is equally loved, hated, feared, and admired. Coleman has been speaking out, often through a bullhorn, against racial and economic injustice longer and louder than anyone else in the city.
Hello, state of Kentucky, and whoever is oppressed, whoever is disenfranchised, whether it be black, white, red, or yellow, we stand for poor people, because poor people many times do not have a voice. And because we as poor people do not have a voice, we say what normally people feel very uncomfortable in saying, challenge the issues that continue to plague people of color, poor people in general, and we do it in many ways through protests, through leafleting an institution. This Friday, not improving. And so that's the reason.
I think there's a tendency for people who don't want to.
I'm going. You can't. I respect constructive criticism. Because constructive criticism improves you. It
Right.
improves you as a person. But negative criticism that is not without merit is one that it just gives us fuel to work harder. You know, we have some television stations that we wouldn't touch with a long foot pole because they try to create a different person than what you are. And we filed federal communication complaints against 2 of your major television stations right now. If you look at the billboards that they have in the city, there's never an African American, there's never a minority on the billboard. The major television station,
I can't think of any.
it's a major television station, and when people like Dick Gregory come in to speak for us, and Martin Luther King, the third, come in to speak for us, the first thing they'll say, if they see some media people, they'll ask me. They say, "You all don't work with Fox, do you?"
Just absolutely thrilled to have with us Amy Goodman, who's the host of Democracy Now!
I am amazed at your technology and your use of it.
I just found things work better, the simpler the better. Now, this is just something that popped into my mind. I'm so happy. I feel like what you're doing with words, I do with music. And what you're doing with all of these stations, I'm a little oasis in a sense here in Louisville, and I've been wanting to hook up with you all for so long, and it's just such a wonderful thing that you're here, we're together right now. But anyway, just one thing that pops into mind. Andrew Weil, he says that he's one of a number of people that say that watching the news depresses people. Whether they like it or not, just watching the regular mainstream news can be really depressing.
Well, I don't think so. I mean, I think it can if you watch the local commercial news, because you're being fed really it's just a megaphone for those in power. But I think power. Real information, I think getting reality reflected is very empowering, no matter how difficult that reality is, because I have a great deal of faith in people that if you have the information, you can decide what to do with it. It's the lies that are a problem. That's very disempowering.
I agree with you totally, and the fact is that Democracy Now! Is extremely refreshing. It's like a breath of fresh air in a very stale climate. But aside from that, and I've watched Democracy Now! Quite a bit. I love the show, but there is a lot. I mean, somebody made that remark about the Jon Stewart show during your little thing, and then you had a nice thing that you said also, that's comedy and that you're serious. But, I mean, you didn't say that.
Right, what I was responding when people said they get their information from Jon Stewart, I understand that. Most people get their news from late night comics on television. But Jon Stewart is a lot more serious when it comes to journalism than the people who call themselves journalists.
Right. But do you think it's possible in Democracy Now! That there could be a problem with so much negativity? I mean, you're looking at a lot of what people don't want to see, or they don't want it. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to know about this.
But that's what I always am amazed by. I travel around the country and I talk to many, many people as we go on this Unembed the Media tour, calling for the unembedding of the media, challenging that whole practice, which has really meant that the media has reached an all-time low in this country. We've got to separate it from the government. It shouldn't be embedded in the government. But yes, we deal with very difficult issues. Yes, we deal with very difficult issues. They might seem depressing, but I think people hearing a reflection of their own views makes a big difference.
Right, just the process of getting it out there and getting the juices flowing makes some hope. But here's something that's not clear to me, is that people, I mean, some people want kind of a simple answer, a simple solution to situations. And what do you see from all of the breadth of your point of view, what do you see in this world with thousands of years of nationalistic and patriotic killing and religious wars and and just all kinds of crap going on that we don't even know about. Where is there real hope? Where do you see that hope coming? Is it through the media? Is it through democracy?
Well, I think that the media are the most powerful institution